And welcome. Hello, you guys. I said, let me just pop on. I'm just popping on, just be popping on. I know you guys have all heard about the war that we are now in with Iran. America bombed Iran last night, well, yesterday evening. And then the president came on at 10 o'clock at night to say what is successful. But would you expect anything less than what he would say? It was amazing. It was successful. That's just how that guy rolls. And would you believe anything he has to say? Because whenever his mouth is moving, he is lying. Just saying. Anyway, I'm in my kitchen. I am in my kitchen for a change. I mean, you might say, what? He's in the kitchen. I am making some food, breakfast this morning. And I said, why not pop on while I'm doing that? So, how are you guys doing? I wonder who's on here. I wonder who is a part of this, waking up this morning. It is now afternoon here in New York City. So it's mostly morning around the country. And yeah, so how you guys feeling today about what's happening in the world? And it's kind of scary, kind of crazy. Yeah, that we are at war. But we knew it was coming because we talked about this weeks ago. We talked about this weeks ago. We knew it was coming in our community. We knew it was coming. Why? Because of some of our resources, which I want to talk about today. I want to give you some resources, just a couple of resources. And I'm just going to come on and just say, look, mainstream media is just singing crap. They're singing crap. They're not giving you the real story. They're giving you was it concepts of a story. And at the very foundation of all this is that no one knows how this is going. This is day one. It hasn't even been 24 hours. No one knows what's going on. Not even the president. Because first of all, they don't know if they got the nuclear materials, the things that needed are needed. I mean, hello. If you your enemy, told the people of their city, Tehran, Tehran, everyone leave Tehran, Tehran, leave, Tehran, leave. Don't you think they may have moved all that stuff out of those bunkers, out of those facilities? A little common sense, right? You gave them warning. America gave them warning that they were coming. And everybody knew that he was lying about the 2 weeks. They knew the Orange Menace was lying. They knew it. They knew it. So I am not surprised. I am not surprised. But I will definitely tell you that there are some people I know. One person I will tell you has not been wrong. And this is who I've been following, and that's Malcolm Nance. Guys, if you, let me make sure my oil is not burning. Malcolm Nance. Malcolm Nance. You can find him on YouTube. You can find him on Substack. And he and two other amazing military and journalists did a great summary this morning. Check that out. It will give you a lot to think about because they served. Nance served. He served in intelligence. Nance served. He wrote the book, the manual for what they follow today. Who are you going to believe? The news people or the people that are really know what's going on behind the scenes? The ones that have relationships with the public, as in trying to make money, or are you going to connect with the people that are behind the scenes that have met with Russian leaders? And I mean, how they lay it out was really so good this morning. So I would suggest to you to go to Malcolm Nance's YouTube page. Also, definitely his Substack. Subscribe to it, be part of it. because you're going to need real intelligence to know what's going on. There you have it, right? So anyway, it is time to make breakfast. So you're going to join me as I make breakfast because I know I've done this before. And I said, you know what? Let me do this. Let me see. How can I get this? Can I get this over here? Let's see. What's a better way? Okay. Yeah, that's the angle. That's the angle. You can see the kitchen, and hopefully the light is not in your way. Hold on. Maybe that light may be a little bit. There we go. That way the light is not in your face. So today, I need to chop up my onions. And I try to make a vegan meal, and well, somewhat of a vegan meal. Mostly it's a vegan meal. Breakfasts are usually vegan. So I am cutting up my onions. I'm going to have not only the onions, but some green peppers. I should have did that first because the green peppers take a little longer. Saute, and refrigerator is over there. And so this is not a cooking show, but this is just me hanging out with you all. I just wanted to know what you guys thought if you guys were online today, and wanted to know what you guys were thinking, how you were feeling. Just checking in with you. That's all, because I know that some people are going through anxiety. They're a little afraid. They don't. I mean, every day is something with Trump. I mean, this orange menace, and always something in the news. So people are can't figure out what's going on. People are afraid. People that have been in have careers in media are afraid. People are afraid, and people should be. But you also need to know your news and where to get your news from. Also, another news platform you could go to is Al Jazeera has been doing a good coverage this morning and last night. Al Jazeera is non-biased. I don't think it's biased, and it definitely it's giving you an outside of America, because again, you're not getting the best news in America. Just sorry to tell you, I stopped looking at American news years ago once I started traveling overseas and realized the news that the people were getting overseas was more in depth than the people in America. My friends overseas know more about America than we Americans who live here. And that's because the news is better. The news is better because it's not attached by corporate people that are making money based on the news. Now they have obviously they're owned by people, but there are also different laws overseas of how people can share the news. Like we all know that Sky News is one of my favorite sources, but it's also owned by the Murdochs, right? But there's certain rules and regulations that prevent them from some of the biases, and they really don't have anything to gain when they're giving news about America in England, in the UK, or places around the world. Also, another good source has been really good. So Sky News has been on it. They've been on it all night and all day. I woke up. I had my Sky News on, and I was like, "Why is the screen yellow?" And then my buddy calls me and said, "Ron, did you hear? Did you hear?" And I said, "Hear what?" They said, "America just dropped the bombs on Iran." And I said, "No way, this can't be happening." But we knew it was going to happen. We knew it was going to happen. One is it distracts. It's always a great distraction. War is a great distraction. While Trump is doing all his crap behind the scenes with the bills and Christian nationalist movements and doing their thing, it's distraction. It's distraction. So of course he was going to do it. Of course. You guys didn't think it. You guys, I mean, our community is pretty savvy. So most of the people in our community knew it was coming. It was coming. And here we are. Here we are. So now it's time for some seasoning. You gotta always have some oregano. Gotta get the oregano in there. Eventually, it's gonna be like an omelet kind of kiwa. That's what this is. So I'm creating a kiwa basil, a little bit of basil, and um, and I am no way, a chef. I only cook the things I know how to cook that taste good to me. Isn't that what food is about, right? So, yeah. So the news report. I said again, go on to Malcolm Nance, follow him. He has not been wrong. Has not been wrong at all. Has not been wrong. A little sea salt to help the peppers evaporate. Um, but yeah, that's what's going on in the world today. And if you hear all these news reports, they know what's going on, that there's sleeper cells in America and yada, 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 yada. I'm telling you, it will be good to your advantage to look at Malcolm Nance and the two guys that were with him this morning. And also, like I said, stay tuned to Al Jazeera and also Sky News. And last but not least, BBC, the British Broadcast website or the British Broadcast channel. If you have Samsung TV, or I'm not sure Apple, but I know Apple on my Apple TV, I have the Samsung because my TV is a Samsung, and you can get all of those for free. Like you just put on your Samsung television, and you can just pop on to BBC, Sky News. They're always on, and you can check those out. So anyway, I'm going to make my breakfast here. What do you guys got lined up for today? And I probably one way I'm gonna one easy I'm gonna figure out how to include Instagram. But you know what? The Instagrammers don't even tune in anyway. So why am I worried about the Instagrammers, right? Why am I Insta? Hey, Chris is here. Chris is in the building. What's going on, Chris? I see you in the building. And but yeah, you gotta know that this is a distraction. And we also know that Trump did not create this. Remember, Trump is the face. Trump is the face for the Steve Millers and the Steve Bannons and all those people. Really, the Steve Millers. It's the Steve Millers and the Kushners and all these other people, all these people that have what we call the neocons. See, people don't realize, and I learned this years ago during my Wall Street years, that people think it's the Democrats against the Republicans. Can I give you a little awakening? It's the neocons against the neo-libs. The neocons and the neo-libs. How did I learn this? Is that also every year, there used to be, I'm not sure if they still do it, they used to meet here in New York City, the neocons and the neo-libs together. And the neocons and the neo-libs, we strategize on which policy would be better for the country. So the Democrats go in and the neo-libs say, okay, we have power and this is how we're going to work it. The neocons, which are the conservatives, which is the Republican Party as their face, will say, okay, this is how we're going to work it. Now, notice every time there's a neocon or the Republicans are in office, which are the face of the neocons, America for the last several decades has gone to war. Has gone to war. Have you noticed that? Have you noticed that? Under Bush, war. Under Papa Bush, war. Under Trump, well, he didn't put us in a war, but he kind of like did a couple of things because we were already at war in Afghanistan. Did you ever notice the pattern? Do you notice the pattern over the last roughly 5 decades? The battle of the neocons and the neolibs. Anyway, there's some really good people out there that are very wise. Now, I'm just a layman, just a layman. I'm just a layman here hanging out. And I've been following politics and stuff as a hobby for a long time. But I also have the resources that I've been following over the years have not been too far off for what is going on. Oh, let me move my peppers around so they don't burn. My onions around so they don't burn. Okay. So now, again, the neocons and the neolibs. The neocons always want war. They love war. Neocons also love war because it finances their corporations. For instance, like military complexes. They love war because why? You can now spend money on war. You can spend money on machinery. You can spend money on technology. Now, you knew they were going to use those bombs. You know why? Because they even put it in the news. And they kept saying it over and over the last week. America had developed this bomb, this bunker bomb with a huge payload that could go and penetrate the mountain, has been tested, but never used in real war. They were itching to use those bombs. They were itching to use those bombs to make sure they work. They've only been used to test. They have never been used in real, as they say in military, theater. So I knew they were going to use those bombs. They were itching. And if you got, again, the neocons are in the back scenes working their spill. They had to use those bombs. Then also, now we don't know what happened behind the scenes. Was it Netanyahu that baited Trump into this thing, or is it Netanyahu with the neocons because they're all part of the same circle? Because remember, Netanyahu has been saying the same thing over the last 25 years. Iran is near a nuclear bomb. Iran is, all right? They've been saying this for 25 years. We got to do it because it'll be too late. We don't. He's been saying that for years. Years. There's so much footage of it. Okay, what am I going to use today? I think I'm going to have chickpeas. You can never go wrong with Trader Joe's chickpeas. So I'm going to mix those in. And, the first thing you do is not that. Yeah, let's move those over. Right, move those over to the side of the pan. And, oh yeah, I need to, yeah, that's going next. That's going next. Okay, so I'm putting my chickpeas in. And, but as I was saying, is that they've been itching for this war for the longest. Also, again, hey, Dr. Tachi. Dr. Tachi's in the building. What are we making? We're making a chickpeas or garbanzo beans with peppers and onions. And we're going to put some eggs in there. So it's like an omelet style kind of food I'm making. And then after I finish with all of that, then I throw in the kiwa, and it's an amazing meal. It's a great breakfast, and also it's getting all the nutrients that I need because, and I try to stick to a veganish meal, food strategy. And let me gotta rinse these off. So you gotta let the water run out of them. And I usually put it inside here. So that way I can rinse off the beans because these beans have sodium in it, even though they say low sodium. Um, when you get them out the can, so I gotta run the water over it, and then I'll add it to the pot. I should say the pan. Now I love cooking on a skillet. So I have a whole collection of black seeds. Now, when I do move out of this apartment, those are coming with me because you gotta have your skillet. Okay, here we go. Get those beans in there. Chickpeas. Okay, nice. The chickpeas are in there, getting themselves together. Not a lot. I just put a little in. Then the rest I'll have for the week. I'll have a couple of days in the morning. I'll make this. I make this pretty much every morning. And I think I got all my seasonings. Oh, I forgot my uh, cayenne pepper. Love it, love it. It's on everything I eat. And let me move you around. Let me move this around a little bit. Let me move this around. Okay, gotta move it around. I want to close. There we go. I do have one glove. Okay, gotta get this in there. Little heat. Gotta have a little heat. Oh, while I'm doing that, I did make my tea. You can see over here is my tea. One, two, three. I put that in the tea every morning when I make my um, hibiscus tea with honey. Hibiscus tea with honey, cinnamon sticks, um, little nutmeg, which I need to put in there now, right? It's just been cooling off a little bit because you don't want to put everything in when it's hot because you lose nutritional value when you do that. So, okay, so we got this in here now. But as I was saying, Dr. Tachi probably can vouch for this because she knows a little bit of politics and being the professor that she is. I was mentioning earlier that the Democrats and the Republicans are the face of who's really running the show. The neocons and the neolibs. The neolibs are the Democrats. The Democrats represent the neolibs. The neocons are represented by the Republican Party. So, and every time the Republicans win, the neocons are now in charge. And so now but every time the neocons are in charge, they think the world's problems can be solved by war. The neo, the sorry, the and the lib, so those are neocons, but the neolibs think world conflict, we don't need that. We can solve it through discussion and treaties and negotiation. So, but now we're in the era of the neocons. And the neocons are always itching for a war. Bolton, Cheney's, all these people that were part of the neocons. They were always itching for war. They think the world can be solved through warfare. And, well, that's where we are now. And think about this. Trump ran on being a peacemaker, right, to his people. MAGA is divided for now, but we all know MAGA. MAGA will get back in line because at the end of the day, it's their allegiance to the cult's dear leader. Dr. Tai says, thinking you can solve things using force is cognitive malfunction. Like, you just bombed me yesterday, and you think I'm going to come to the table, right, Dr. Tachi? You think you bombed me yesterday. I'm coming to the table. And the supreme leader in Iran said, America, you're only a couple of 100 years old. We've been here for thousands of years. We've been here for thousands of years, and guess what? We'll be here for thousands of years more. Paraphrasing. See, the arrogance of America. This is arrogance of I should say America, the people, but these neocons and these people that are in charge. Yeah, the same thing with China. China said the same thing, right? China said the same thing. China says, Trump, you think you can bully us? You can't. You've been here a couple of 100 years. We've been here for millennia. We've been here for thousands of years. Thousands. The Chinese world has been here for thousands of years. Not just hundreds, thousands. And bombing someone does not mean they're going to listen and yield. So what Malcolm Nance said, which is, again, I'm going to keep saying that through this video, if you want to follow someone that knows what they're talking about and not this paid commercial media, you want to follow Malcolm Nance. Because our community, because I follow him, was informed weeks ago that this was coming. We talked about this weeks ago. If you go to our feed, and I think it's the title, I declare war, war with Iran. Are we heading for war? Something like that. Can't remember the title of it. But that's because Malcolm Nance has not been wrong. Malcolm Nance has been, again, I will say it over through this video, because I want people to follow their platform. Because if you want to be informed, and this is a black man who was in charge in many levels of a United States intelligence. Intelligence is his job, was his job, and he still continues to connect with those connections to this day. The manual that they follow was written by Malcolm Nance. Who are you going to follow? Dumb anchors on the news channel that are just puppets? Or someone that's been in the field? Someone that still talks to people behind the scenes. He shared this morning that behind this is Russia. As I toss around this Russia. And he names the names of the people that, and this is one of their scenarios, his scenario that's pretty, it sounds pretty, because he told us, and I remember we mentioned it in our community because he mentioned it, about the bombers. We knew the bombers were already he said 1/3 of the B-2 bomber fleet had left America and was already in the Middle East weeks ago. Weeks ago. Right? Didn't we talk about that on our show? We did, because of Malcolm. We knew it was coming. We knew war was coming because Malcolm knew war was coming. He says, guys, get ready. War is coming. And he thought it was going to be by the end of May. Well, it's only a couple of weeks in. We're only 2 weeks delay. Huh. Anyways, resources for this era that we're in. Don't trust. I love, I like some of the entertainment on ABC and all the other places, but news is not where you go. You do not go to you do not go to our media. And then also stay off the social media heads that don't know what they're talking about. Like, I am not a strategist. I am just a regular dude that just loves politics and loves information. I'm just that guy. But where you want your news is definitely go to Al Jazeera, Sky News, BBC. Those three are very good at covering what's going on, and they don't act like they know what's going on because no, if anyone can tell you what's going on, they don't know. Because guess what? Trump doesn't know what's going on. Trump is just a Muppet. He's just a Muppet. He's just a Muppet, y'all. Okay, so now the chickpeas are ready. The chickpeas are to the side. The onions are looking nice. The peppers are done. It is time to raise the fire. Time to raise the fire. And it's egg time. Now, I know some vegan people don't eat eggs, but I do. Because I'm not 100% vegan. But I love a good cage-free egg. And I am a horrible egg cracker, so don't laugh at me. Cass is in the Cass. Thank you for sharing these updates, resources. You're welcome, Cass. My obligation is to this community. We have a community, and if I can share the information with you, I'm going to give it to you. But I know, I remember I said we talked about this weeks ago, and that is because we found, like I said, my resource. And I tell you guys, Malcolm Nance. You cannot go wrong. He only speaks the truth, and he has nothing to gain. He also was banned by MSNBC. He no longer can be on MSNBC. That's why. Because he tells the truth. He tells the truth. They can't have him on as a guest any longer. However, other countries around the world call him on all the time. As a matter of fact, he had to end the show earlier today that he was on this morning because he was going to be on the London Times. Now, if this person wasn't giving you good information, why would he be on all the other platforms around the world? But he's not on the American platforms. One is, well, he's black, I would presume. But he is also a smart man. He's in the know. This man was on the battlefield in Ukraine against Russia. But he was saying that Russia is behind this and manipulating also Netanyahu and Trump. And he mentioned this morning that this could be an opportunity for Putin to get some celebration because Trump has attacked Iran. Iran's going to do some stuff and use Putin. Putin. Let me get my eggs here. Putin will be the man of peace. He will bring the peace. And he might be the one that gets the Nobel Prize that Trump has been fiending for because he wants to be like Obama. That could be possible because they were saying that there was in the back stage of things that the Russians are probably in on this. Fascinating conversation. However, none of us know for real. No one knows for sure. But I would trust the people that have been doing intelligence for the longest. Okay, eggs are ready. Now it's time to mix the two. The eggs are ready. And now it's time to mix the two. Roll down that fire. Bring it down low again. Bring it low. Because you got to have the high fire for the eggs. And now, man, this is looking good. Oh, wow, let me, I got to mix it up a little bit and then I'm going to bring the camera over. This is my first time doing this in the kitchen with y'all. this is, I'm like enjoying it. So this is what it looks like. Let me see. Let me bring you over. So that's what it's looking like. Look at that. That's what it's looking like. Now I'm going to. Okay, I was over the stove too much. Okay, so there we go. And now, and all the windows are closed because it's so hot outside, and I have the AC going. I have to. Like I have it on very low. I have the fire on low, very low, very, very low. And I love olives on everything. So, gotta throw in the olives because that's how I roll. Usually 5 olives. Throw those in there. Perfect. Got the 5. Got the 5. 5 olives. Oh, this is so delicious. And then I throw in. Now this stuff is dangerous. It's extremely hot. Hey, Jazzy Jazz, I see you in the building. This is. Oh, there we go. It's from Trader Joe's. Peri Peri. It is hot, hot. So, but let me put a little bit of this in here, and I do all of this before I put the quinoa in. I'm just gonna put a slight drop. There we go. Because this is fire, and it tastes so good. Now, I I have hot pepper. I mean, what do you call it? Sauce, hot sauce, right? But this is the best. This is just for a mild, get together there. So anyway, so now I got the olives in there. The olives are in there. Now I'm going to toss this around just a little more so that blends nicely. And yes, smell the spices. Woo! It's all about the spices, y'all. It's all about the spices. Okay, so now, so I want you to see. Oh, let me put this all together. Let me let me make it look nice on the black pan before I show you what it looks like, right? And see, I'm a guy. I eat like they eat in most countries, everything together. So anyway, when I'm so here we go. Look at this. I mean, doesn't that look delicious? Okay, so the chickpeas and everything is done. Everything is looking good. Everything is getting ready. It looks good. Excuse you know me. Autocorrect. Yeah, the autocorrect is crazy. Ron cooking it up. Yes, I'm cooking it up. And I said, what a good way to just share the morning with you guys while I'm cooking. I may do this more. So now I have the quinoa. I make a lot of quinoa for the week. Now I'm down to the last. I have to make some more. Probably, but I definitely need to make it today before the hot weather seeps in because Ron will not be cooking. Oh, we'll move that around. I will not be cooking. So, and then you just take that, throw that in here. Oh, you know what I forgot? I forgot my walnuts. Well, today, I forgot my walnuts. Oh, okay. Boom. Here we go. I always throw in a handful of walnuts, right? So that way I get my omegas. Oh, maybe just one handful, just a handful, right? Throw that in there as well. So I get my omegas. It's all about the omegas. And I'm telling you, my joints are feeling much better. Also with Dr. Tachi recommended for me this little guy here. Black Girl Vitamins. I know it's for black girls, but it's working good. So it's not only for women, it's for men too. And so this is really good too. And it has 9 grams of protein in it. So that's usually great too. Okay, where's my? So I'm going to show you. Got the quinoa going. I got the um the walnuts in there. And when you see this, you're gonna be like, "No, this is so good looking." And then I gotta throw a splash of olive oil in there, just a splash, because olive oil is helps the heart, and it also helps your digestive system as you eat all this stuff, and it just flows right on out. She said, "Excuse you." Okay, she said, "I told you." Yeah. So there we have it. And now I'm mixing this all together. Got my some more olive oil in there because this is all good fat. This is the good fat you want. You want the fat from the walnuts. You want the fat from the olive oil. You want it. And now the only thing I don't have in here today because I ran out of is my avocado. But if I put the avocados, then I'm not putting the walnut, right? So okay, that's the also another thing I put in. Sometimes I'll throw in the kimchi. Yeah, sorry, kimchi. I'll put the kimchi in, and that's always great. So you said it's almost time for another jar. I'm almost down, but I would throw a little bit in, and that is really good. I'm almost tempted. Yeah, I'm gonna keep it simple today. Keep it simple. I'm gonna need my kimchi during the week. Okay, that was a big splash. That was Dr. Tachi. I love me some olive oil. Um, they often mention that you should drink olive oil like a teaspoon every. So I think like a big like a what's this thing I have here? Like something like this olive oil every day. I just add it to my food. Okay, so here we are. Here we are. It's done. It's done, y'all. And man, does that look good? Okay, we cut the stove off. Stove is off. It is time to get the spatula going. I'm always rinsing things off. Everything's pretty much clean in the house. I am always rinsing stuff off because there's dust in the world. There's always dust. Living in the city, there's always dust. So, gotta wipe down everything always because don't like dust. Okay, now when you see this, you're gonna be like, "Oh, Ron, this is so good." Okay, here we go. And this is pretty much my only meal of the day. Like I after this, I don't eat anything really major after this because I'm back to concentrating on one big meal a day. And I mean, man, the cast iron is the best invention to mankind. Let's go into the light. Let's go into the light. Okay. Now here we go. Look at that. How does that look, y'all? How does that look? Doesn't that look delicious? Scrumptious? Ugh. Man. Now that is a meal. Yummy, yummy. And Cass says avocado oil is good too. Yes, I have avocado oil as well. Just saying. Avocado oil and olive oil. Those are my best. Now it's time to eat, y'all. So I just wanted to come on to just enjoy eating, cooking with you all, and also to let you know some resources. Don't get caught up on ABC, CBS, NBC News. No, You don't want to look at those news resources because they're all speculators and they're only telling you what they want you to hear if it's in favor of the Trump regime. They're not going against Trump. They're not saying anything that's negative about him. They are always going to be praising Trump on some way or what if abouts, what ifs, or um, dual blame. For instance, oh, and this happened today because of Biden. They're going to always default to Biden. They did that this morning. ABC, yeah, default to Biden. Some of the other stations. One, as soon as you are off with me, make sure if you have another device, go to Malcolm Nance, Nance, Malcolm Nance. Go to his Substack, Malcolm Nance, a real intelligence person, a person that spent his career in intelligence. That's what you want. Number two, Sky News. The Sky News reporting has been non-biased, been to the fact, bringing on specialists around the globe that specialize in Iranian, Israeli, and American conflicts. Look at Sky News. Next on the list, Al Jazeera. Al Jazeera News. Excellent. No bias. People think, oh, it's biased to the Middle East. No, it isn't. It is a factual platform. Use it. Use Al Jazeera. And third, but not last and not least, BBC. If you want to get the information of what's going on in this Iranian, American, Israeli war, those are your resources. And also, there are some. If you go to Malcolm Nance's page, there are two other gentlemen. I forget their names, Alex, and I forgot the other one. I think it's Alex and Mike, but I forget their last names. They are on the show he did this morning. Go check it out from what you saw from what I saw this morning. It will give you good backdrop of what's happening and why it's happening, and that this was not just planned this week. This was planned months and years ago. Months and years ago. One gentleman in the Russian, one of the Russian intelligence people, predicted this 8 years ago and told you what month it was going to be in. 8 years ago, said in 2025 of June 2025. This has been on the books for a long time. The neocons are finally implementing what they wanted to implement for years. For years. PBS News is also great. However, PBS News also still has to be. I do look at PBS News. However, you want your best news about America? Get it from outside of America, because there's no bias. They don't have a reason to skew it because they have no gain. The UK is getting nothing out of you knowing the truth. Right? I love PBS. It's the best of the American platforms. PBS is the best. However, it still relies on public funding from Americans, from the people. You want a news source that has no allegiance to America or its politicians or its politics, and mainly to the American corporations. Most of the countries outside of America, countries outside, do not like American corporations. They work with them, they let them in with regulation, but they're not big fans of the American corporate machine. I don't know what you've seen, what's going around the viral of these people that became generals, one from each one of the high tech firms are now generals in the military. Stay tuned for that story. Okay, I think that's it. Any questions? Any questions? Any questions from the class today? And if you're in the building, make sure you hit those likes. Make sure you hit those likes. It lets people know that we're here every time you show up. Always hit the likes. Always. Whenever I go to my friends, all these people's platforms, the first thing I do is hit the likes. Hit the likes and also comment if you can. Because when you click the like and hit the comments, people respond. And then the algorithm says, hey, there's something going on over here. The computer algorithm say, whoa, let's move our energy to this area because people are engaged, and give them more. The algorithms are always giving you what it always gives its servers what people are trending to. Okay? I think that's it. Guys, I will probably be on the scenes later on. They're gonna have a dance. I mean, it's so hot in New York. I may just stay here under this AC. But there is a dance event going on here, not too far from my house. Africans, I forgot what it's called. Remember I mentioned to you on during the week, the Stoop concerts. Well, they're gonna bring their show to Flatbush and Ashland Place here in Fort Greene, right down the block from BAM. So that should be fun. I might go there just to photograph in the evening. I always go when the sun is going down. So I might pop over there. My brothers and I were supposed to go somewhere today, but we are not doing it. So as the sun goes down, today is not the hottest day of the heat wave. It's just the beginning. And for New Yorkers, the peak of the heat wave will be on Tuesday. 99 degrees. I don't know why I don't just say 100, but 99 degrees. Heat indexes from today to Thursday will be in the hundreds. It's going to be hot in New York. So hopefully we'll have power. Hopefully we'll have power. If not, I do have batteries, but it would be a short show. Cass, is today the last day for early voting for you? Well, I can't vote because I'm an independent. But if you are a Democrat in New York City, today is the last day for early voting. The actual vote is this Tuesday. This Tuesday, people will be voting on their Democratic mayor candidate. Right now, Cuomo is in the lead, and what's his Mamani, I think his last name is. He is in second place but he's trailing by roughly 7 to 10 points. However, there was a couple of days ago he was leading for a moment and then he just went backwards. Okay, guys, I'm going to get here and eat this meal. Here's my fork, the fork. The meal, yummy, 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 yummy. And guys, I will talk to you later. If not, remember also tonight is our game night. So I'll see you tonight. Game night, Sunday game night. Love you all. See ya. See ya when I see ya. Love ya. Hello, and thank you for joining us today. Make sure you hit the like, the subscribe, and leave a comment on this video. I would love to hear from you. Thank you again. Until I see you next time.